First sign of intelligence is, are you curious? Are you curious about something? Do you want knowledge?
What the fuck am I doing here? I know why you're here, Neo.
Who the hell are you?
You know. You all know exactly who I am.
My therapist would always say, lean into discomfort.
You know I am. What do you want?
Say my name.
You what? I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are.
When you speak about me, what are you referring to?
I know you're worried you're going to say some crazy shit and you're going to torpedo your life.
I believe that if we are honest with ourselves, that the most fascinating problem in the world is who am I?
When you speak about I speak, what is that I?
What you are in your inmost being escapes your examination in rather the same way that you can't look directly into your own eyes without using a mirror. You can't bite your own teeth. You can't taste your own tongue. And you can't touch the tip of this finger with the tip of this finger.
And it just seems foreign because there's no one else talking about it.
People tell you who they are, but we ignore it because we want them to be who we want them to be.
It's almost like they have an alien presence in their body that is craving these foods, and it's really hard to overcome that.
The microbiome is basically all the microorganisms that live on and in our body. So fungus, bacteria, viruses, other organisms that live with us and go through life with us.
Welcome, Morty. Welcome to Anatomy Park!
We've realized that it's not just that these organisms are passive passengers on our body, and they're not just things that cause disease. They're things that actually help us, interact with us, and may help us develop who we are and really how our health is overall.
I need a drink. How about you?
Drink? No, I don't really drink.
Well, you do now because I can't have a drink unless you have a drink.
Drugs talk to you.
I love you. No, baby, come on.
And I thought that was funny. I really did. I really thought it was funny when he said it. But it's not funny because I asked someone else who was a drug addict, and they said, that's true.
I think nowadays, in today's world, it's very rare to be brutally honest and just to be, you know, who you are 24/7, and that's me. I'm very blunt and to the point, and so sometimes that shocks people and it comes off as rude, but I'd rather be honest than to be two-faced.
What do you want, Mr. Quaid? The same as you, to remember. But why? To be myself again. You are what you do. A man is defined by his action, not his memory. Please, take my hand. Now, open your mind to me.
Just writing about it gives me the shivers.
Come on. Come on.
She's a sweet girl. And she wants me to know her, but I already do.
And I go, okay, start with what I least want to share.
We think that we have a certain amount of time as human beings, and we try to put these destiny paths into that. Mortality is, we forget that this is a timely thing, and it's so quick. The words are just spoken and it's gone already. But yet, as you speak, the vibration of those words and the influence of those words can stick and go in the mind of somebody else who's receiving it, and it can actually come into physical existence in something else years from now.
When I heard The Learned Astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and the diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I, sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured, with much applause in the lecture room, how soon unaccountable, I became tired and sick. Till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself in the mystical, moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars.
Why haven't we ever hung out before? I don't know.
My guess, he's either deeply depressed or an icicle has snapped off his roof and impaled his brain. It's this terrible habit of standing directly underneath them and staring up at them. And I always say, Michael, take 2 steps back and stare at the icicle from the side. And he's like, no, I like the way they look from standing directly underneath them.
The prevailing theory now of what actually causes depression is called the inflammatory cytokine model of depression. And so it's not this thing that where your serotonin levels are different, that, you know, and that's why you're depressed. It's that you have inflammation, primarily in the gut. And the inflammatory cytokines travel from your gut through the bloodstream up into your brain. They cross the blood-brain barrier and they suppress the activity in the frontal cortex, which basically causes the symptoms of depression.
Jack, I don't want to alarm you, but I think I saw something down here, and, well, it's probably benign, but...
A tumor? You saw a tumor? How big?
Jack, you're asking the wrong guy. From my point of view, it's about the size of Candlestick Park.
So this is totally mainstream, not fringe science, where they recognize that depression may be caused, and anxiety may be caused by inflammation in the gut.
Okay, pal. Here's how I spell relief.
Now this is where shit gets weird.
We want to learn about ourselves through another person. We want to learn, you know,
Right.
and I go, there's a lot of people living inside me.
Full of voices. Ancestry howling at you. You bring stories. All voices tied up into one.
Jack, it worked. You just digested the bad guy.